The next morning, Ajuma left the house very early to meet her lover at their usual spot. The village was still asleep. The paths were quiet, the air cold against her skin. She did not look back at her father's compound. She was afraid that if she did, her feet would refuse to move. When she reached the old tree, he was already there, waiting. They spoke in hushed voices, their hearts beating fast as they planned. They would run away and settle in a nearby town, a place where no one knew their names, their families, or their past. A place where they could breathe freely. Before the sun fully rose, they left together. And that was how Ajuma left her family and moved in with a man without her father's blessing. The journey was long and tiring, but hope pushed them forward. When they finally reached the small town, it felt strange and exciting at the same time. The houses were closer together, the streets unfamiliar, the faces new. They rented a small room at the edge of the town. It was not much, but it was theirs. They settled in quickly. He found small jobs to keep them going. Ajuma learned the ways of the town, went to the market, cooked, cleaned, and waited for him each evening. Everything seemed fine. No strange sickness. No sudden misfortune. No voices calling their names in the night. Days passed, then weeks. One evening, after 2 weeks of living together, they sat outside their room under the fading light of the sun. Ajuma laughed, the sound light and relieved, a laughter she had not known she was holding back. "You see," she said, turning to him, "nothing has happened to us." He smiled, nodding slowly. "Yes, we are fine." Ajuma leaned her head against his shoulder. "They were wrong," she said softly. "All those fears, all those warnings." He did not reply immediately. He watched the road, where people passed without paying them any attention. "We are just two people in love," Ajuma continued, "and love should not be punished." That night, she slept deeply for the first time in a long while. But back in the village, the house of Papa Adoche felt emptier than ever. Ene moved around like a shadow, cooking food no one had appetite for. Papa Adoche sat alone most evenings, staring into the dark, refusing to speak of his daughter. The villagers noticed. Some said Ajuma would soon return, crying and broken. Others said she would never come back. Days